The 3.5x team effect, what the 2026 production data tells independent broker owners about building team infrastructure. For the first time in tracked industry history, real estate teams have surpassed individual agents in both production volume and transaction size. The latest 2026 Real Trend City rankings reveal a major shift that every independent broker owner should pay attention to. Teams generated more than $832 billion in sales volume and nearly 1.29 million transaction sides, outperforming solo agents across the market. This isn't simply another industry statistic, it signals a fundamental shift in how successful brokerages are growing. In this video, we'll explore what the latest production data means for independent broker owners and how building the right team infrastructure can create a lasting competitive advantage. So, what is driving this historic shift? Let's take a closer look at why teams are consistently outperforming solo agents across the industry. Why teams are outperforming solo agents? The production gap didn't appear overnight. Earlier industry data showed that top-performing real estate teams averaged approximately 3.5 times more transaction sides than top individual agents. The 2026 data confirms that this advantage has now expanded across the broader market. Instead of relying on the capacity of one individual, successful brokerages are building environments where agents can collaborate, specialize, and scale together. That changes the conversation for broker owners. The question is no longer, how do I recruit more agents? Instead, it's becoming, how do I help every agent produce more? And the answer begins with building the right infrastructure. Understanding why teams succeed also reveals an important question. What happens when a brokerage continues to rely primarily on solo agents? Let's explore the hidden costs. The hidden cost of a solo agent brokerage model. Many independent brokerages still operate as collections of solo agents. While this model offers flexibility, it also creates long-term limitations. Production depends heavily on a handful of top performers. When those agents experience slower periods, or eventually reach their personal capacity, the brokerage's overall performance slows with them. As ambitious agents grow, many eventually leave in search of brokerages that already provide structured team support. Without team infrastructure, brokerages also limit recruiting momentum, reduce retention, and miss opportunities to maximize revenue-sharing programs. These costs rarely appear on financial reports, but over time they become increasingly difficult to ignore. If those challenges are becoming more common, the next logical question is, what exactly enables teams to achieve significantly higher production? The answer lies in infrastructure. Why team infrastructure produces higher results? The 3.5x production advantage isn't simply about having better agents. It's about having better systems. High-performing brokerages typically build three important operational layers. First is role specialization, allowing agents to focus on selling while transaction coordinators and administrative staff manage the operational workload. Second is structured accountability, using production dashboards, coaching, and consistent performance tracking to maintain momentum throughout the year. Third is knowledge transfer, where experienced team members accelerate the development of newer agents through real-world collaboration. Together, these systems help brokerages increase production while creating greater consistency across the organization. Now that we've seen why team infrastructure delivers better results, let's look at what that infrastructure actually looks like inside a high-performing independent brokerage. What team infrastructure looks like. Building team infrastructure involves much more than simply allowing agents to form teams. Successful brokerages actively create systems that help those teams succeed. That includes qualified lead distribution, structured accountability programs, dedicated transaction coordination, shared performance dashboards, and financial models that encourage long-term collaboration. These operational investments make it easier for agents to grow their businesses while strengthening the brokerage as a whole. When productive agents have the resources to scale, they're far more likely to continue building their future inside your brokerage. Knowing what successful brokerages have in place is only the beginning. The next step is understanding how you can build the same foundation within your own brokerage. 4 steps to build team infrastructure. Building team infrastructure doesn't happen overnight, but it can follow a clear roadmap. Start by identifying agents who already demonstrate leadership and naturally mentor others. Next, define clear team structures along with the operational support available to growing teams. Then establish accountability through coaching, performance tracking, and regular production reviews. Finally, align financial incentives with long-term growth by implementing revenue-sharing programs that reward recruiting, team development, and retention. When operational support and financial architecture work together, brokerages create an environment where growth becomes sustainable. You might be thinking that building this kind of infrastructure requires the resources of a national brand. Fortunately, the latest industry data tells a different story. The independent brokerage advantage. Independent brokerages have an advantage that large organizations often struggle to replicate: strong relationships. Broker owners know their agents personally. They can identify emerging team leaders, provide tailored coaching, and build accountability systems that fit their unique market. The latest production data shows that success isn't determined by brokerage size. It's determined by execution. Independent brokerages that intentionally invest in team infrastructure can compete effectively by helping agents grow together rather than simply adding more headcount. So, what does all of this mean for independent broker owners moving forward? Let's wrap up with the biggest takeaway from the 2026 production data. The future belongs to brokerages that build infrastructure. The 2026 production data delivers a clear message. The brokerages leading today's market aren't simply recruiting more agents. They're building systems that enable every agent to become more productive. For independent broker owners, this represents an opportunity. By investing in team infrastructure today, you can improve recruiting, strengthen retention, increase production, and build a brokerage positioned for long-term success. The question is no longer whether team infrastructure creates a competitive advantage. The data has already answered that. The real question is whether your brokerage will build that advantage before your competitors do. Read the full blog to discover how to stay ahead. The link is in the video description.